Hey guys, welcome back. I know it's been a really long time since I've done any sit down video or video in general. The last video that I posted is my 4th of July weekend video. There's been a lot going on since I announced my pregnancy and did my last pregnancy update, and I'm here to fill you guys in on all of that and give you an update. I think I'm finally ready to talk about it and let the past be in the past and move forward and enjoy everything and share everything with you guys. I know that I have family that watches and friends that watch. So first off, if I sound out of breath, it is because I am almost 26 weeks pregnant and I am completely out of breath. Dealing with something I'll have to talk about. Dealing with my 4 mini and being this pregnant and just trying to get stuff done around the house. Clearly I'm spent. It is only, well, I'm filming this right now, it is 7 o'clock, but let's get started. So the last time I saw you guys, I want to say that I was like 15 or something weeks. I'll have to go back and look. Hold on, let me look. Okay, so the last time that I filmed any type of update, it was from finding out I was pregnant to 13 weeks. So it has been a while and there's been a lot going on. So just to kind of rewind, I had a baby last year, September 15th, 2020. I had Carson, who is my youngest, and October 31st, 2020, I slipped down the stairs and broke my left foot in 3 different spots. And from October 31st, or I should say November 1st is when I had surgery. So from November 2020 to February 2020, I was not able to walk, or I was in a boot, and I had found out that I was pregnant again with this baby February 5th, I want to say was when it was. It was either February 5th or February 6th, somewhere around there, but it was February. So right after I was able to start walking again, I had found out that I was pregnant. And it was a shock because this baby was not in our plans. Carson was going to be our last baby, and after I had him, my husband was supposed to get a vasectomy, and just from having Carson, bringing him home, the issues that we had with his failure to thrive, and then right after we got him on track, I broke my foot, and then it just delayed everything. Their time slipped away from us, and here we are pregnant with our 5th baby. So that's kind of the gist of like what happened. So we had him, we dealt with for a good 2 months, I want to say. Maybe it was only a month. His failure to thrive because I didn't produce any milk, or I didn't have the opportunity to because he never really latched all that well. But I had thought that he was latching fine because the nurses at the hospital were saying that he was good and he was gaining weight there. And then when we took him home, it was like a whirlwind of not knowing what to do. And then my family was here visiting, so it was back-to-back hospital trips for figuring out why he wasn't gaining weight, getting him on formula, watching him grow. Once that was clear, we dealt with me breaking my foot and then finding out I was pregnant. And literally the day that I broke my foot was the day that I was going to start working out again, because I was like 6.5 weeks postpartum and I was going to start filming again, and everything happened. So my first thoughts, number one, I know that you can have a baby like right after you have another baby. You can, oh my god, that didn't sound right. I know that you can have back-to-back babies. I have a friend who has back-to-back babies, and you know, you hear stories and you see stuff. So I mean, I knew it was possible. I guess how I've described it to my mom and my close friends was that I just didn't think that I was that fertile to be able to do that. But now sitting here saying that so many times and thinking back, every other baby but Carson, I was on birth control after for at least a year. And then that's when I had the discussion with my husband, and we kind of both agreed upon, well, we can get off and whatever happens, happens, yada, yada, yada. And if you're a female, and you know that once you've put birth control, any type, whether it's Depo, the mini pill, anything like that, it does take your body a little bit of time to get that out of your system and be able to get back on track for you to get pregnant. So this time I didn't have any of that. We were just kind of enjoying the extra time that we had with each other since COVID and all of that stuff. He was you know, going back to work and everything, and then breaking my foot, we got more time together. He could see how it was being the mom and having to do everything. It was only for like 2 months, and then I was able to start kind of walking and being more mobile. I got a cart to scoot around with, and then I was able to start walking on my foot with my boot, which was 100 times easier. But with all of that, it was kind of a shock to us that I was pregnant so fast after. I knew that because we weren't on anything and he hadn't got snipped, that there was a possibility that it could happen at any point in time, but I did not realize that I was going to get pregnant 4.5 months after having Carson. So that was our little bit of a shock with that. It was a lot to take in because I was just getting over being able to walk again, and then adding a pregnancy to it, and then another pandemic pregnancy, which the first one wasn't that great to begin with, and this one is just going to be the same, if not a little bit harder, because there's a whole bunch going on right before I'm about to have this baby that I'll get into later. But it was just a lot of, I felt like I was going to get a whole bunch of judgment. It was just a shock, and it took me a while to, I don't want to say accept, but I feel like that's kind of how it is for me. I accepted that this baby was meant to come into our lives, even though this baby was not planned and it was not part of the plan that we had. And so that took a little bit of time for me to finally get over it and accept it and start to enjoy my final pregnancy, even though this pregnancy has been, I used to say that Carson's pregnancy was the worst pregnancy, but I can say, having back-to-back this pregnancy on top of Carson's plus his birth, this one is 10 times worse, just because I feel like there is just so much, and my body didn't get enough time to like relax before it got pregnant again. So I'm sore faster, everything's growing faster. So, but I finally got to the point where I was able to accept it and move forward. There was a lot, I don't want to say a lot, but there were some people that when I had told them, the response that I got back came off negative to me because I felt that way myself. So I took it that way, even though that I misinterpreted how they were talking and what they meant. And I can see now, sitting here thinking about it, when I said that Carson was my last baby and Carson was our last baby, and then here I am pregnant again, I can see where there would be like a, oh, I thought you guys were done type of situation. But everyone is super excited. My husband is annoyed with me because with Carson, I wanted to not find out until birth, and then COVID hit, and we had started to plan when my mom was going to be here, and then I wanted to be induced because I just wanted to be done with it, and they were saying that he was measuring big, blah 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 blah. And so it just so happened that when they gave me my induction date, that was the day before my mom was supposed to get here. My husband wasn't able to go to the hospital with me, so that is why when we were planning all of that stuff, we found out with Carson. This time we are not finding out. Like I said, there was other stuff that's happening right before I have this baby, so we will be moving in approximately 60 something days. I think it's like 67 or 68. It's probably approximately 68 days until we move, and that is just a give or take. I picked a day in the month that we are moving, and I'm kind of just sticking with that until there's more like set in stone dates. My husband is in the Air Force, so we won't have any set in stone dates until closer to the time, probably not until the middle of next month, if that. But approximately 68 days until we move, and I will be about 35 weeks pregnant, and we are moving to Texas. So I will have my mom and I will have my mother-in-law with the kids and all of that stuff. So give or take, I mean, regardless, my husband should be able to be there. Stuff's opening up again. Hospitals are allowing, you know, the partners and all that stuff. And because my mom will be there with the kids, I mean, even still, my mother-in-law will be there too. We have 2 people that are 110% guaranteed to be there to watch the other kids. So there's no way that he can't not be there. That is why I'm sticking to my guns and not finding out what this baby is as much as I want to. just to buy things, which I don't need to. I'm sticking to my guns. I don't have a gut feeling as to what this baby is. Some days I think that it's a boy, some days I think it's a girl. Sometimes, I mean, in the beginning, because my symptoms were half boy and half girl, I thought I was pregnant with twins before I got my ultrasound. So it was just all over the place, and it still kind of is all over the place. Some days my symptoms remind me of my pregnancy with my boys. Other days it more so reminds me of my girls. So it's just all over the place. Now that I am at that stage to where I'm almost in my 3rd trimester, I've done my glucose test, all of that stuff, I want to film more so I can look back on the end of my pregnancy, since I had a rough start with this pregnancy. Just mentally, I wasn't there to enjoy it. I've had a lot of depression and anxiety going on with being pregnant again, it not being the plan, moving so close to delivery, a back-to-back pregnancy. There's, you know, complications that they tell you about, like preterm, you know, all of that stuff. It's just, I wasn't in the right headspace, and now I think I finally come to a good headspace to where I am accepting, I'm moving forward, I'm happy. I've always been happy. It's just mentally, I don't think I was prepared for any of that stuff. There was a lot that happened prior in it, and I didn't have time to get over all of that before getting pregnant again. But anyways, all of that aside, we are happy and almost 26 weeks pregnant. Probably by the time you guys see this, I will be 26 weeks or just about. I had my 25-week doctor's appointment today, and just to give you a roundabout of what she told me, because it wasn't like an ultrasound appointment or anything like that. It was just a normal appointment where she measured me. I'm measuring on track where I'm supposed to be. She said that when she tried to feel for baby, she said that the baby felt rather low and very engaged into my pelvis. Isn't necessarily bad, but I have never been already that low and carrying as low as I am this soon. So it's a little for me. But I also know that all of my other 4 kids have been induced, and more than likely that's what's going to happen. But like I've told my mom and my husband, I'm not pushing for anything. We're moving. We're going to be getting settled. So if I go into labor while we're getting settled after we've gotten to Texas, and that's what happens. You know, whatever happens, happens, as long as the baby waits until we get to Texas. That was what she said. I had also made a comment about how, you know, what to do and what to prepare for moving that far along and driving, because I know that I think it's like 30 weeks or 32 weeks, somewhere around there, where you're not able to fly anymore. So I'd asked her, she said that honestly with driving, you can drive up until you're 40 weeks. You'll have to be making more pit stops. I will have to be stopping every 2 to 3 hours, getting out and stretching, and, you know, obviously peeing, because I'm super pregnant, so I'm going to pee all the time like I already do. But to make sure that I'm not just getting out and going to the bathroom grabbing a snack. Like I need to be stretching too, just in case of like blood clots and all that stuff. And I'll be sitting for at least 2 to 3 hours anyway, so muscles and stuff need to be woken up. She also said that I need to have my doctor and an appointment ready for once I'm in Texas, because I will be being seen weekly by then. So I'll have to have that all set up, which, because we are military, at least until we're out of here, I cannot call TRICARE and switch any of that stuff until closer to the date, when I have actual dates as to when we'll be there or anything like that. Because right now it's just, I would be calling and saying like, I need a doctor for this area in Texas for this time frame, with no date or anything like that, and I could show up late or whatever. So I'm hoping that we'll have dates pretty soon to where I can get all this stuff set in stone. She also said to make sure that I have a hard copy of all my medical records, pregnancy, and all of that stuff, in case anything happens while we're driving. I'm estimating that it'll be about a 2 to 3 day drive, depending on what time we leave and how we are with the stopping and how far we're going to be doing each day. So I'm saying like about 2 to 3 days. Max will probably be 3 days. I think that was it. I asked about that. I made the comment about, I asked about where my placenta was, because I couldn't remember I didn't ask at my ultrasound, and because I feel the baby kicking, Bean, which is the nickname that I've been calling the baby, is very low in my pelvis area. So I thought that maybe because of that and because of not feeling them as strong, I had an anterior placenta, but I have a posterior placenta. Oh my gosh. I have a posterior placenta, so it's just where baby is. That's where baby is sitting, and that's why I feel it more so down in my pelvis area. She was also saying that when baby stretches out and stuff, it'll be more toward like my hips and up that way, but I probably won't feel anything like up toward my belly button unless the baby switches positions or comes up instead of being low. But if baby's already as low as he or she is currently right now, I highly doubt that the baby will come up at some point in time. And it's funny because I had said that I couldn't feel baby as much, like baby, you know, I didn't feel the strong punches and kicks, and I had to pay attention when I felt them. A lot of the time the baby kicks when I am putting Carson down for a nap, because Carson is laying on top of the baby, so obviously the baby is like, get off of my womb, you're pushing on me, blah 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 blah. But I said that, you know, I had to pay attention super close and all of that stuff. And then now recently, since I've gotten home from the appointment, they feel stronger. They're still low, but they're stronger to where I don't have to pay as close as attention, and I can feel it. I do feel when baby, I'm assuming, like turns or just pushes up on stuff, because it just gets really tight because of how low it is and where it is. It feels like a small like Braxton Hicks, so I know when they're coming. But other than that, that was the appointment. Symptom wise, from 13 weeks to now, it's been all over the place. I was still throwing up on and off, but up until like 18 weeks, I think, was the last time that I threw up. Actually, the last time I threw up was on Mother's Day, and I hadn't since. I do still, depending on the situation, I've noticed that if I eat too much ice cream, or if it's not the ice cream that the baby likes, that I'll have a couple bites and I'll try to like finish the rest of it or take more bites, and I haven't like fully swallowed. I start to gag and then I can't finish the ice cream. I've also noticed that with my coffee, if it's too sweet, once I get down to the bottom, especially with Dunkin' Donuts coffee, of the cream and sugar down at the bottom, if it's not mixed all the way and I get to that, I'll take a sip and like I'll drink it and then I'll gag. So that is still present, hasn't gone away. Throwing up went away Mother's Day. I wake up, I don't know how many times, I want to say that like it's like 2 to 3 different times throughout the night just to pee. And sometimes, depending on how well Carson has napped throughout the day, I'll wake up with him at least once in between one of my midnight to 2 a.m. I almost said 2 p.m. 2 a.m. Pee sessions. So in between that, he'll usually wake up. Sometimes he'll wait until like the 3 to 5 session. I was doing so well from 13 weeks to 22 weeks with not having a stuffy nose, not having a runny nose, anything like that. And now my runny, stuffy nose has started again. I don't know if it's because the weather, is like all over the place or what. My nose, it's either my left side or my right side, and it's always stuffy or running, especially when I wake up right in the morning. It's super annoying. I've noticed that my skin is more dry. What else? Swelling on and off. I made a comment about my carpal tunnel on my right hand, which I don't know if that's even what it was. My doctor said when I described it to her, she said that that's what it was, and it happens in pregnancy and goes away after. And I don't know if it's because I was really bad with like wearing my brace or what, but I don't have that much swelling in this arm anymore. I do still have some weird pain in my middle finger when I go to make a circle or clutch anything. But other than that, it still gets tingly sometimes and numb. But other than that, swelling wise, it doesn't really swell. I can tell that I am swelling due to like heat and whatnot. I know that probably doesn't look like that to you guys, but I can tell that my face is a little bit fatter, my nose is fatter. I do have a double chin down there when I make this face. And if I don't drink enough water, or if I'm on my feet too much, my feet swell so bad. I can't tell with the foot that I broke because I feel like that one is always going to be a little bit bigger than my right foot just because it broke. Even though everything is back in place, I think it's always just going to look a little bit bigger because I'm used to it being so swollen from when it was broken and all that. So I do swell on and off. Pee constantly, you know, throughout the day and throughout the night. I feel like I pee more during the night than I do throughout the day, but that's probably not the case. It's probably the same. It's just because I'm waking up more. Sleep, I have sleep. It's like sleep insomnia, I think is what it is. I get that when Carson wakes up, because he'll wake, whenever he wakes up, I'll get him, I'll grab him, put him back to sleep. Right now my biggest cravings are deli meat. Well, I don't want to say deli meat because I only really eat turkey. Sometimes I eat ham. But like turkey sandwiches with sourdough. I'm back on my pickle kick. For like 2 months I didn't want anything to do with pickles. I would take them off my cheeseburgers from McDonald's or wherever I got them from. I didn't want anything to do with pickles, and now I'm back on my pickle kick. I have this weird craving for like just wanting Caesar salad sometimes, or a salad in general with Italian dressing, give or take, whichever one. And it's not a daily thing. It's like, that sounds kind of good. The only ice cream that I seem to be able to handle this pregnancy without like feeling like I'm gonna get sick or can't finish it is Ben & Jerry's Chubby Hubby. I love Chubby Hubby and I love fish food and I love the fudge brownie, but I can't eat the fish food or the fudge brownie because it seems like baby doesn't really like it. So I'm eating the Chubby Hubby, and I probably ate way too much. I'm not really a big fan of salsa anymore. I think I ate way too much salsa the last couple weeks, from like 18 weeks to last 2 weeks. Because I'm not really into it. I crave Chipotle all the time, but my husband is a pain, and sometimes he'll agree to go get it and sometimes he'll disagree because it is downtown, so it is a little bit of a drive. I can not have coffee, and then sometimes I need to have coffee. Anything cherry soda wise, like cherry Pepsi, cherry Coke, I'm into that right now. Cherry flavor. I just bought mango popsicles. I don't remember the brand, but I'm into those. I was into those with Charlotte and Carson in the very beginning, and then I stopped. And now I think because it's super hot and super warm, it's just something nice to have that like cools me down and it tastes good. So I think that's it. Trying to like cover from when I last talked to you guys about my pregnancy to now. I know there was a lot of talking. It's sitting here at like 30 minutes, so I know that there's a lot of talking, but I think that is it. I'll go ahead and show you guys my belly. I want to try to, I don't want to do these like every week. Okay, let me know if you guys want to see like weekly updates, or if you want to see like every so often here and there, because I'll be going to the doctor this next time every 2 weeks. So I can do weekly updates if you guys want to. I just don't know what you guys want to see. So let me know what you want to see down in the comments below. I don't know if my comments are back up. So if they're not, I will put somewhere in here my Instagram handle, and you can DM me what you want to see or something. I don't know, you know, where you want to ask me. But if my comments are available, go ahead and let me know down below. If they're not, my Instagram handle will be over here, and you can go ahead and DM me or whatever and let me know what you want to see. But I'm thinking maybe like every other week, or maybe weekly. I don't know. I might do weekly depending on how spicy I'm feeling. But I'm going to go ahead and show you my belly in case there are any rude comments. And I'm just putting this out there because I see so much on TikTok with people saying, you know, well, my belly looks like this and my belly looks like that. I have had 4 children. I've had 2 9-pound babies. My body has never gone back to its original size, or at least close to, before having another child. So my belly is not perfect. My belly is rather big already, and I do have a little bit of a fupa, and the baby is not in that area to where it looks tight. So just be nice in the comments if you want to say anything about my stomach, but I will go ahead and show you my belly. So this is from the front. See what I was talking about, my fupa. From the side you can see the fupa a little bit more. I guess maybe not so much now. I am trying to suck my stomach in, and clearly it's not working. Side, and then with a shirt on. That is all for my 25-week update. So we will see you guys next time. Let's just do weekly. Let's do that. I'll see you guys at 26 weeks.